In an effort to read a little bit less social media, not to say I'm better than everybody and I don't want to know what's going on in their day. It's just there's a lot of negativity on Twitter, and it's not a great way to start your day. I've been trying to read a little bit more constructive things, things that'll help me, but it's hard to read long form stuff like books and things like that on my phone or on a monitor. So I went out and bought Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. Now this book was sold to me actually from a YouTube video in my recommendations, and they should do some type of revenue share with that guy because he sold me this book like he had written it himself. If you don't know who Marcus Aurelius is, he is a Roman emperor from 160 AD, and this is like his memoir or his journal. It wasn't really meant to be published, but it was, and it's something pretty amazing. There's not a page that goes by that you don't find something useful to you in your everyday life. But today, I've just got two paragraphs to share with you. I think it'll really help. Remember how long you've been putting this off, how many extensions the gods gave you, and you didn't use them. At some point, you have to recognize what world it is that you belong to, what powers rule it, and from what source you spring. That there's a limit to the time assigned to you, and if you don't use it to free yourself, it will be gone and will never return. This is the second paragraph. Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice, and on freeing yourself from all other distractions. Yes, you can, if you do everything as if it were your last thing you were doing in your life, and stop being aimless, stop letting your emotions override what your mind tells you, stop being hypocritical, self-centered, irritable. You see how few things you have to do to live a satisfying and reverent life. If you manage this, that's all even the gods can ask of you. Now I want you to pause the video for a second and think about this. Think about how it applies to your life. We're going to talk about it, but I want you to think about how it applies to you. This book is something phenomenal. You know, it's the memoirs of a man that lived thousands of years ago, but it still applies to all of us and our everyday lives. It's pretty incredible so far. I'm not even done with it, right? I'm only on book, I think 3. It's split into 10 different books. But let's kind of break down what the paragraph has and what parts really stood out to me. Obviously, each of us are going to take something a little bit different away from it, but this is kind of what I took away from it. The part in the first paragraph where he kind of talks about putting things off, right? To me, in my life, if you're here from like the fighting game videos that I make, to me, it's not. It's when I'm like not playing the game or I'm not doing something productive in terms of trying to reach my goal of being a better player or like making YouTube videos about Street Fighter, right? Like I'm putting it off and I'm not playing the game and I'm actively kind of inhibiting myself. And it's kind of dramatic to say that I'm going to think about this later on and think about how I keep putting it off and the gods gave me time to play Street Fighter. That's kind of dramatic, but I get the sentiment here. You have a dream, you want to chase it, but you keep putting it off for some reason. And this kind of just gives you, it kind of lights that fire under you that makes you just want to chase something, to chase your dream, whatever that means to you and whatever that means to me. The second paragraph is really where things come together, right? I really love this line where it says, if you do everything as if it were the last thing you were doing in your life and stop being aimless and stop letting your emotions override what your mind tells you. That part is very big for me because to put it in Street Fighter terms, put it in fighting game terms, it's like when you load into the match and you see a matchup, even in like League of Legends, if you play that game too. I don't really know what audience is watching right now, but when you load into a game and you see a matchup that you really just hate, right? For me, it's Bison. I really don't like playing against Bison. It's very easy for you to get angry and say, oh, I'm going to lose. Like, it's over. Like, I hate playing against Bison. He's going to do this, that, and the other. He's carried. He's this, that, and the other. It's very easy to say that rather than to think about what your mind tells you, like the logic behind the matchup, what you need to do to beat him. It's very easy. You know, it's very easy to just let those negative things come out and then not fight them. The other thing from a lot of those, like, not self-help videos, I don't know what you would call them, but those videos that kind of just teach you more about what your mind is doing when it's learning things. One of the main things that a lot of those videos tell you is what's written here, where it says concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, freeing yourself from all other distractions, not multitasking while you're trying to learn something is a big deal, right? Like for us, I have 2 monitors, for example. So when I'm watching like a Street Fighter replay on the main monitor trying to learn stuff, I often have like a podcast or like something playing on the other side to just as background noise. But that's not very constructive for like learning. You know, it's a distraction. It's actively splitting your attention even if you feel like it's not. So that's a big thing that is preached here in 150 AD, but is also still preached today, just in two different forms, right? I don't think Marcus Aurelius had dual monitors, but I'm sure he had other distractions while he was trying to learn. There's also another paragraph here I didn't read, but this is an entire paragraph about external distractions and making time for learning, making time to learn without distractions. But that's kind of getting into the rest of the book. And I don't really want to overload you guys. I know it's hard for some people to read, like they don't like taking time out of their day to read. I don't usually, but trust me, if you want some real help in how you think about things, you should pick this up. And I'll definitely cover it again when I finish it, or I can cover it again while I'm reading it. I just don't know who's watching the video right now, to be honest. I don't know what audience I'm hitting. I don't know if anybody really cares to listen to this kind of stuff, but if you do, let me know in the comments, and I'm not opposed to doing this again. Maybe next time I'll do it some Street Fighter gameplay in the background, so it's not just my face, but who knows? We'll figure it out. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to this point, again, leave me a comment. Let me know you finished the video, and consider subscribing. I'll talk to you again very soon.